Let's go ahead. I'll start this. Hi, welcome everybody. Appreciate you guys joining us on a Sunday, or perhaps if you're listening to the recording in the future, of joining the Alliance and PCFL Town Hall. I'm Jamie Loprice with the Alliance Fast Pitch. I'll be talking more about overall Alliance membership. We have Shannon Harvey from our side, who handles a lot of our business operations and our registration. And then we also have David McCorkle, who's in charge of our league operations. He'll be talking about our national events, national championships. We also have one of our partners from Athletes Go Live with Andrew Beal. And then Mike, I will let you introduce the PCFL.
Sure, thanks, Jamie. And real quick, we have, this is one of the better nights to actually get everybody here, but Tony Rico is a deputy assistant commissioner. He and I kind of share the same role pretty much, but Sean Brashear is on. Brian Tidd is on from Athletics Mercado. Dave Mercado is on, and Don Menard, longtime voice and friend of ours, and works with the Firecrackers, works with Tony. We're all in here to guide you guys. Obviously, Shannon works with us as well. Marty Tyson couldn't get on tonight. He had issues to deal with, but we look forward to giving you guys as much information as possible, and I'll let Jamie go through this, and then we'll go on the end. There's some few things that Sean and Brian want to go through, and Tony to highlight kind of what we're doing locally. But go ahead, Jamie, and take the national stuff.
Sounds good. And before I get started, please feel free. We want this to be interactive, so we have a lot to cover tonight. But if you have any questions, you can toss them in the chat. And most likely we will answer it live on here, or we will write you back. So please feel free to ask away. Let me move this over. All right, here's the goals, or the plan for tonight. As I mentioned, I want to start and just give an overview of the Alliance Fast Pitch, everything that comes with being a member. Andrew Beal's on here. He's going to talk specifically about Athletes Go Live, and I'll hit on some of our other key partners and membership benefits and how that affects you. Mike and the PCFL team are going to then get in specifics to the Pacific Coast Fast Pitch League, and how that affects all of the teams. And then we'll close it out talking about our national championships and national events as well. So I just want to start from the beginning of how is the Alliance different, and what is the Alliance? What does that mean to everybody on this call? As we started almost 2 years ago, we're in our second season, so a year and a half in to building this. And really, who you see on the camera is a representation of everybody across the country that's working together. So I like to kind of differentiate of other parties that are in youth fast pitch and how the Alliance separates from that. So you have USA Softball, obviously our governing body of the sport. You have USSSAs or a PGF of the world that's a sanctioning body. You get Triple Crown, that's an event company. And I like to think of the Alliance Fast Pitch as really this network of teams. Even a lot of the faces and names that you see on this panel, that's really who we are. Is this, there were things going on in the sport, and everybody wanted to come together. Obviously everybody on here competes against each other, but we thought it was more important to work together off the field. And that's what you see happening from a league level, as well as a national level. So I use this slide just to kind of portray really, what the Alliance is and this network of teams. So these are a few of the logos of teams across the country, but there's many, many more. And it really was this idea of putting the athlete first. We talk a lot about our core values, and wanting to put the athlete at the forefront of what we do. And obviously everybody on here who runs teams, runs organizations, you have a responsibility, obviously, to your players and to your families. And that's really what we want to do from a national level. So focusing on the athlete, player development, you're going to hear us talk a lot about coach development. And then really, I think, one of the keys is this idea of collaboration and cooperation, of working together. So how do we do that? Particularly on the field, we have organized the country into 8 member leagues. We started off with 6 leagues last year. We have since added the Northwest Fast Pitch League and the Atlantic Coast Fast Pitch League this year. Obviously tonight we're going to talk more specific about the PCFL, but just want to paint the picture of how all of this works. So what you see tonight on the PCFL is truly happening across the country. And what this has done, it's brought purpose, it's brought meaning, it's brought a system to each one of these regions within the country through our league play that leads to nationals. So how does it all work? You're going to hear me talk quite a bit about membership. So often in our sport, we're used to registering for something, which really just means you get to go play in a tournament. But with this, we're talking about a membership, and what does it mean to be a member of the Alliance as well as a member of the PCFL. So it starts with the coach. The coach goes on, registers himself or herself for the Alliance Fast Pitch, and then you will create a team and register that team for the Pacific Coast Fast Pitch League. Once you've created your team, then you invite all of your athletes and all of your coaches to join the Alliance. So what does that look like? Anytime when I think about membership, I think about value. If I'm going to become a member of something, then it's providing that value. It's providing access to resources. It's providing access to a community or to a network. In our particular case as well, we're going to talk about recognition at the player level, at the team level, and also a qualification process. So again, you'll hear me talk quite a bit about membership. So we've got 3 levels of membership. You have your coach membership, your athlete membership, and then the team membership. So a little bit of breakdown of the fees and how that affects you. But most importantly, like I said, if I'm a member of something, value, access, and community. So really, what are you getting for that membership? So when your coaches, when your athletes become members for that price, this is really what you're getting. And we talk a lot as a national leadership about how can we help our coaches? How can we help our athletes? How can we be a year-round support for those coaches, for those athletes, and for those teams? And so that's what I spend a lot of my time on, is working, throughout the country with different partners and making sure that we're providing as much value as possible. So I just want to break it down really quick, and I'll go through these really fast, but the idea is all of this is included in your membership. So when you become a member of the Alliance, this is one of our partners with High Level Throwing. All members receive a free throwing program from High Level Throwing. You also get exclusive discounts to remote training and to products. We also do some fun things to engage with our partners throughout the year. So one of the examples this year, we did a National Throw Like a Girl Day, where we had all girls from 10 and under to 18 and under up to our Olympians submitting videos and being a part of this just national redefining what it means to throw like a girl. But the idea behind this is obviously we all have to throw and teach throwing, but just really highlighting one of our key members and foundations here. We do have, when you become a member, all coaches, all athletes get access to the Famer app. And so on the Famer app, every week we are sending out workouts that we've already put together. So we went out, we found some of the top coaches, the top athletes from all across the country, and have brought them together, and we've organized that through these workouts. So every single week, all athletes are getting a workout sent to them. All coaches are getting a workout sent to them as well. So again, just highlighting throwing, training, tips and drills, mentorship, game strategy. A lot of people on this panel as well are a part of this Famer app. Another thing is recruiting. I'll talk even more about NCSA, who is our official recruiting partner. So again, a lot of free resources, a lot of free education that's coming out to our members. We also have a partnership with College Bound Jocks, specifically on recruiting videos as well. And then Visual Edge is a partner of ours. Every single member of the Alliance actually gets a free at-home vision test. So you get these glasses sent to you. You can take the vision exam right there. I'm a big believer. You got to see the ball to hit the ball. And so this is really breaking it down to your 6 core just vision elements there. It's measuring those. It's giving you an edge score. And then if you want to take it a step further and actually improve, we've got exclusive discounts on vision training as well. And then we'll talk a ton about competition. I know that part is really important to everybody, but also again about being a membership and things that we want to do with our community off the field is continue to educate and to continue to engage our members as well. So here's some examples. And I see somebody raising your hand. If you've got a question, please feel free, throw it on in the chat and we can address it live too. But here's some examples of just different webinars that we've done. Any opportunity to bring back, our former players, current college players, professional players, Olympians, and get them back to our youth players. We're going to look to do that. And then we also have, here's another thing that we did with a company called Hit Tracks. So actually just another fun opportunity to get our leagues competing with each other off the field. So there's actually, we picked a facility in every one of our leagues. And so some individual players got together, represented their league, and throughout it was a lot of fun. It was live streamed. So you had that rivalry that was going on amongst the leagues. And then we identified who some of our top performers were, and then talked about, what some of those things meant with exit velocity and different elements that Hit Tracks measures. We did something very similar with Blast Motion last summer. Again, just a way to take everybody across the country and create fun competitions off the field that are centered around training, development, and education. We also did, we do different things for coaches as well, whether it's webinars. This particular one, we did a National Coaches Week and just found different ways that we could activate with some of our partners. Again, just trying to bring resources and community to all of our youth coaches across the country. Here's some examples too of just how we've utilized our partners and starting to identify players. You can see here even of ranking these of players in the Pacific Coast Fast Pitch League. And it's something that we can do and start to compare, players in one league compared to the other league, and just how your athletes stack up and where their trajectory is there as well. So just to highlight a couple of our partnerships, unfortunately, Under Armour was not able to join us tonight. So I'll highlight this, but this was big, I think, not just for the Alliance, but I think it was really big for the sport of softball. Since Under Armour has partnered with us, and I'll talk about that, but they've also, they've signed 2 athletes, Odyssey Alexander and Rachel Garcia, which I think is huge. They're investing into the sport of softball and something that Under Armour had not been yet. If you see right here, this is actually at our national championships. They brought in a recovery zone that was free for all of our athletes. It was 100 degrees there, and an awesome opportunity for athletes to just go and learn, recover, take care of their bodies in between playing for a national championship. Here's another just fun activations. They had a giant interactive bracket that they put up, as well as this big board that they signed. And I'll talk a little bit about the All-Star game as well. But even this month, all members of the Alliance have access. It's Women's History Month in the month of March, and Under Armour is doing a lot of just activations around celebrating Women's History Month and talking about coaching female athletes. So again, just more resources that all coaches within the Alliance have access to. I'll talk real high level on this, but because they are our official apparel and official footwear partner, then all teams, I know many teams already have partnerships, but all teams within the Alliance actually get exclusive discounts, whether they want team uniforms, fan wear, coaches gear, footwear. Under Armour is our provider, and our preferred provider as well. This is actually the All-Star game from last year where they came in. Let me see if I put this. So last year they came in, they decked our athletes out head to toe in Under Armour gear. So all the athletes walked in, they received these bags. They had workout clothes, shoes, sunglasses. It was really special to see what they did for our female athletes, and something that I think is really important for our future as well. Then we went into the All-Star game. We played it right there during the 16-18 national championship. You can see Montana Fouts here, Jocelyn Allo, Aaliyah Andrews, Jada Coleman. We brought back a lot of the current college players to come back and teach that, or to coach that game. And we're doing it again this year. So actually in the next couple of weeks, we will be announcing our league All-Star game. And then by the end of May, we will be announcing our 2nd annual Alliance All-Star game. But just another cool opportunity. This game was on ESPNU. There was probably about 3,000 fans in the stands there at Hall of Fame Stadium, and just something really special for our athletes that we'll continue to do. Oops.
Tired of cold calling?
Sorry about that. I was getting ready to turn off my screen and pass it over to you, Andrew. Let me just one more.
The biggest mistake.
Let me find my my screen again here. if anybody is interested, and we can put this in the chat as well with Under Armour, of who our contacts are. But again, all Alliance teams do have a discount with them. And then NCSA is our official recruiting partner as well, NCSA and Team Edition. So all Alliance athletes actually receive free tools with NCSA. And then I think one of the biggest things, and actually I did not know this, but they talked about it on our last webinar, but it's the best discount that they offer in any of their sports. So just by being an Alliance team, you get 50% off of all of your recruiting tools or services that are provided by NCSA. So again, just as part of our membership, being a member of us, you've got access to the top recruiting platform in the country as well. So just another key benefit. This is our contact. So if you are interested, if you haven't reached out to NCSA, I think it's one of our top benefits there for our members. And then I'm going to toss it over to Andrew Beal with Athletes Go Live. Before I do that, Athletes Go Live is our official live scoring and live streaming platform. And you're going to hear Andrew talk a lot about what they do. And just to brag on them a little bit, what they've done with the Alliance and worked specifically with us has allowed us to do special things for our athletes, whether it's the leaderboards, the ELO rating, our player recognition, and that's their willingness to work with the Alliance. I think we're the only one where you've got the ability to take game finishes from any sanction, whether it's USA, USSSA, Triple Crown, unsanctioned, and you have the ability to take their game finishes and put that into one ELO rating 1-point system. So with that, Andrew, I will turn off my screen and toss to you.
Thank you, Jamie. Share my screen. I appreciate the opportunity to hop on and kind of give you an overview of what we're doing with the Alliance. I think it's pretty awesome what we've been able to do with both the Alliance IT department and our folks is kind of build something that's fully integrated. You know, the ability to, you know, when teams are playing their games and they end those games, we've created automation to where all that data now goes directly to the Alliance website, which accounts for the standings, the points, and obviously the player recognition, and obviously the stats that are coming this year in 2022, as far as being able to make it an automated, you can't have this many teams playing without automation. And a lot of time and energy and effort was put on both sides to really build this thoughtfully. And we're pretty excited about where we are today from when we started. So obviously the leaderboards in the tournament, I think, is really awesome for the kids to be able to give them recognition at individualized events. And obviously we've also built recently the ability for top plays and highlight reels. And I'll actually go to this slide and show you, but we've actually built some custom ability for both fans and athletes to submit their top clips directly to the Alliance. But for folks that are not familiar with what we do, we are a full-blown live scoring, live streaming platform. We do have our own custom camera. You do not need to use our camera. You can stream with any Apple or Android device. The reason why we came out with this camera was in about a year and a half of beta, we found that streaming with a cell phone in the summertime is not ideal. It overheats. So our camera has an operating temperature of 150 degrees. So it's designed for softball specifically. It's available on our website. It's $450, and we do have promotions right now for teams to get the cameras for free. Like we said, it is full-blown live scoring. We do maintain all the team and player stats. So everything you need from a stat perspective is provided. We are now also an official Max Prep stat partner. So any of your kids that also play high school ball, if their high schools use our product, all their games and all that data will still load to the same account for them to access, pull clips and everything. And we are now also the official live scoring, live streaming provider for the NFHS network. Go here. Pricing structure. We have a basic pass and a premier pass, essentially. Basic allows you to watch any game live, any game archived. You can see your kids' stats, and you can post clips, pull clips and post clips to social media as a fan. The premier package gives you some additional functionality as it relates to colleges and college coaches. And I'll talk a little bit about that on a separate slide. Our team package is probably our best option for teams because instead of paying $199 a year, it's only $150 a year. And the team actually gets the camera included with that price for free. This is important to us. Every team out there in the Alliance, we want to make sure that we have an official scorekeeper. Whoever the official scorekeeper is of your team actually gets a free annual pass from Athletes Go Live for being the official live scoring, live streaming person for your team. It's very simple on our website. We can get you signed up. I do have Katie and Lisa from my team on this call as well. I'll make sure their information is in the chat for any team or any organization that needs assistance with getting themselves set up. This speaks a little bit to the functionality that we've built for the Alliance. So when a fan or an athlete goes into their mobile device, we actually have the Alliance logo listed here now, and you can actually pull clips and email those clips directly to the Alliance directly through the app now. Athletes can also, and parents can post clips to social media. We now have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we did build it on the mobile app for the kids to be able to use. But we do have a college coach integration. So college coaches do get free access to use Athletes Go Live. We have over 2,700 college coaches that are currently using our app today. And essentially, athletes have the ability to create a watch list of colleges, watch list of college coaches that they're interested in contacting. They can simply email clips directly to the college coaches directly through the app. The good part about it is these emails come directly from the athlete. They don't come from Athletes Go Live. It actually grabs the mail client from the device. One of the unique things that we do is we actually, the college coaches get free access, but we actually track the college coaches. So the athletes get an in-app notification, the parent gets an email, and the coach of the team also gets notified. So it's a great way for athletes to be notified about which college coaches are watching their games. On the camp side, which is another big component that we built in here, is if you have a college on your watch list and that college posts a camp, you get an in-app notification that a camp's been posted. So it's a really great way for college coaches and athletes on the camp information side. We are working with NCSA on some integration. So any of your teams that have NCSA accounts, we're going to be able to do some integration with the athletes, with Athletes Go Live and NCSA as well. This is our profile that comes with it. But like I said, this is going to be some integrations with NCSA on this as well. On every single event that's out there, there's a leaderboard. And on that leaderboard is both in the team stats and the individual player stats. Also with our stat functionality comes all the player recognition stuff. So it's very important that you're scoring to get player of the month, player of the week, pitcher of the tournament. We're both doing it now at the tournament level, as well as I know the Alliance is doing it on the monthly, annual level on each league and nationally. And then this year, we're obviously with the video clip functionality, it's going to allow the Alliance to do top plays and highlight reels as well for the athletes and spotlights. This just gives you some of the integration with the college coaches actively using our product. I always kind of love this. Hutch is sitting in her hot tub, watching AGL. I think she enjoyed recruiting that way. We do have video tutorials on everything the college coach gets, fans, athletes, team videos, everything. And like I said, I'll make sure that both Lisa and Katie's contact information is in our chat. If any team or organization needs any kind of assistance getting set up or any questions, we'll feel free to be able to help you guys out. So, Jamie, that's all I got. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Andrew. And just to highlight a couple things right before I go to specific to the PCFL, but just wanted to give you guys an example of when you score your games with AGL of where that actually goes. So here's an example of the Arizona Hot Shots. Anytime when you go up here and click on teams and you actually click on the team, it'll give you a snapshot of that team's points, their rankings. You can see up here, they're currently 13th in the PCFL and then 48th nationally. So it'll also break down just how you get to that rating. So currently every team starts at 1,600. And then based on your performance and who you're playing and the level, the strength of that team, you'll either go up or down that 1,600 there. So again, this is all through our integrations with AGL. If you click on the middle tab, it'll actually show your recent games and then how you did against those opponents, and then ultimately how that affects your rating as well. So again, when we get asked why is it so important to score with AGL, it allows us live every week to do this, to update, very much like college, right, where you're going up and down in those RPI rankings. This is just an example of the roster as well. And I wanted to paint the picture, not only we're actually going to start top plays on April 1st. So when athletes do submit their clips to us, we're going to take a compilation of that and start to do top plays of the month. But the next iteration of where we're going, just like you're able to click on a team, you'll soon be able to click on a player as well, and have her alliance history on here too. And then really quick, again, just to showcase one of our partners, when you click on a team, your NCSA roster also comes up and you have the ability to click on there as well. And if you're ever looking for a team's AGL ID, if you're playing against them, you can search in here and find that team, and then their alliance ID and their AGL ID will be on there. All right, Mike, toss to you to talk specific to the PCFL.
Well, thanks, Jamie. I just, and real quick, I know that it's Sunday, people don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but just a couple things. It's kind of like, wow, it's a lot of information to take in a short period of time. And if you observe this, everything that we have put together from the Alliance and the PCFL standpoint is designed to make this sport better for our athletes and coaches and parents. And we put the time into providing more and more stuff. It's almost crazy the amount of things that we do to try to make our sport better through all these partners that we have. And the PCFL, honestly, obviously I'm biased, but we lead the way. We are the largest program in the Alliance. We have the most teams. We have the most competitive teams. When it comes to how things play out at the end of the year, it has been, we are very proud of how we finished last year, the first year of the Alliance Championships, and we will continue to hopefully lead the way as we always have. We're looking to really develop Arizona, Nevada, Hawaii. We're actually, we have another call next week with the Hawaii group to expand our growth into Hawaii and to give all of us, I'm sure that getting your parents to go to a tournament in Hawaii would probably be a tough thing to do, but we're working on that piece to the puzzle as well to provide another opportunity for us to do some cool things. So the membership fees, we've given discounts. We've cut down the 10 and 12U as much as we possibly can. We just want to make it more conducive to get teams involved and to open their eyes to what it is we're doing with the sport and with our members. And the membership packet fees are all there. And there's always questions. If anybody has any questions, we hear this constant chatter that it's too expensive. Well, the fact of the matter is it's a lot cheaper because of what we have provided. And all this stuff has been a pleasure to put together for all of our members. I got a couple people on here and we're going to get into some of the issues. Sean Bashir is obviously a part of the Firecracker program, Firecrackers Bashir. And Sean is very hands-on with the stats, player recognition. And I want him to go over real quick on some of the things that we have done that nobody does. And we've linked this with AGL, but I'll let Sean get into the player recognition and some of the things we do for our partners.
All right, thanks, Mike. It's just even listening to Andrew and the opportunities that AGL and being partnered with them has allowed for all of our teams that are part of the Alliance and part of the different leagues across the country are able to take advantage of. And as you see on the slide here, seeing the Player of the Month awards, and again, all the athletes, the teams that are part of the Alliance, their individual leagues, each of these kids, through the utilization of the scoring system that's part of the program with AGL, they have an opportunity to earn that recognition. And for all of us that we know, whether it's through social media or flow softball or extra innings, and even us with the Alliance, is always trying to continue the growth and the exposure for our sport and for our athletes. And so, again, Andrew's done a great job. Jamie does a great job, to be able to provide all these different avenues for our athletes and for your teams to become more and more exposed to the sport and to those in the sport that you want to get to know. So whether it's the player of the month, the player spotlights, all tournament teams, if you tracked and followed, or even were part of the Super Cup series, and they had the Super Cup all tournament teams and the players of the tournament for the Super Cup series, the national all-star team, the all league teams that'll come out of the different different leagues through the Alliance. These are all really just amazing opportunities for all of us to be able to be part of, and the continued growth of what we're doing to be able to provide for the teams in our leagues that are part of the Alliance. And again, for all of us, it's our job, which is why we're on here tonight, to make sure that you guys understand what can come through the utilization of the Alliance and your leagues, specifically for us, the PCFL. So I know, as Mike said, it's a lot of information coming at you. But if anything, I would want to say is just for all of you guys to know that we all are here, including myself, to be able to help you best understand how this can make it easier and better for your, not only your team, but for your individual athletes and for your families. And obviously being able to track these things week in and week out from the results from the different events that are going on, it's pretty cool, right? It's really exciting to be able to look each week. Look, I get a call from a college coach as I'm on this thing here. Sorry. We get to track.
I gotta wait.
I know they're waiting. It wasn't that big of a school. It's all right. But we track each week, right? Each of the teams and players, and it's really a pretty cool thing. And then to be able to see the spotlights and the series on these kids and their successes and the work that they put in, because we all know how much work each and every one of these kids and their families are putting in to play our sport, you know, from the fielding lessons to the hitting lessons to the demands that we're putting on them within our club programs. So all of those things, this is a great way to be able to honor them and show their successes as they're participating in our incredible sport. So, you know, I would just encourage all of you guys to make sure that you're on your social media, that you're going onto the website that we have that shows all the different information that's available to you, and then utilize that information, not just for your team, but for your player, right? Utilize it for them individually and then for your team collectively, because you'll see the growth within what you're doing and the ability to make things even better for the program that you're part of. So for me, again, I would just encourage continue tracking utilization of the systems that are provided, and you'll see the growth within it. So for me, Mike, that's it on the, you know, the player situation and the stats. And again, make sure you guys are tracking it.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Well done. Appreciate it. Next up, you guys, we've been fortunate out here. We've done a couple coaches clinics. We actually had during the pre-Thanksgiving tournament this past November, we had Jen Rocha and Lauren Lappin come out and speak. We've had Oregon come and they did a camp at our facility, open to the entire PCFL and Alliance members that are out in town. But one of the best events we did was we did a coaches clinic, and it was about a year ago we did it. And Sean, Dave Mercado, Marty, myself, Tony, we all got to kind of take a topic and work with it a little bit. And we had people out. We love doing this kind of stuff, and we'll continue to put these type of events on the schedule. We will get as many resources and valuable resources, whether it's former players, coaches, to provide more stuff. It's just more stuff that we can do because of our access to so many athletes and coaches that we want to try and deliver more. That's all we're trying to do, is over deliver everything we do to our teams and the athletes. Next up, I want to go. I want to bring in Brian Tidd. Brian deals with a lot of the statistical stuff, but has a good scope on the upcoming schedule. I know there's a lot of questions with qualifiers and other events that we got going on. And I'll let Brian go through this and touch on some of the events we have coming up.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, and to kind of tee in on what Sean was talking about with the events and everything that we have to offer with AGL, it's important that you know, your players are recognized based off a lot of the events that we have throughout the regions, and it's not just any specific organization that we want to run tournaments. We've really opened it up to a lot of different entities that run events, and you know, the more data we get, the better. The more events you guys play in, the better. It's hard to select players of the months based off of stats if in fact your team only played in one event and you have other teams that played in 4 or 5 and have the data behind those type of stats for players. So for us, you still have time on the qualifier side of things. On the screen here at list your opportunity to still earn a berth to nationals for this year. We do still have berths to be awarded from the PCFL. We have a couple events coming up in April and May for the younger age groups. We're really trying to push the 10U division and the 12U division to get out and qualify and play. And there's going to be a lot of good things at our national event for those 2 lower age groups. So we still have berths available for them. Some of the older age groups, when they come back from high school, obviously, we'll have some events in May and June that we still have some berths to award. We've really opened this up to the different areas and the different regions within the PCFL. As you can see on this list, we have events in Vegas, NorCal, SoCal, Arizona. We're really trying to give you guys options in the different areas. Maybe not travel as much to earn your berth in your specific area or your region. And moving forward, the PCFL, we have our meetings every Friday, and everybody that's part of the PCFL, we discuss things that's going to help us, and the suggestions we get throughout the week from a lot of different people. So we're open for suggestions for events based off time of the year, locations, region, for qualifiers for next year as well. And we want it to be as easy as possible for you guys to get out and get in the events and get the points and get their berths for nationals. So there is one other event that the PCFL is going to host this year. It's our first event that we're actually going to host as an entity, and that'll be for the younger age groups, April 30th and May 1st. So more information is going to be coming out in regards to that event probably this next week, and we're going to have a lot of good opportunities for teams to be involved in more than just playing the game and the players that are there. That's about it, Mike.
Perfect, Brian. Thank you. And once again, those schedules are all available on the PCFL website. And if you have questions, anything that comes through, Shannon will pick up and email it to the proper source to get back to you on any of this stuff. But, just as we touch this off, I'm real proud to represent California in the PCFL. And, we have led the way. We're real proud of that. And there's a couple things coming up, and like Brian touched on that event on April 30th, May 1st, you'll get more information coming out. We have some unique opportunities. And to close out the PCFL side, I want to bring in Tony. Tony has, and I'll just touch on one thing. All of us sit in a room, whether it's myself and Tony, Dave, Brian, Sean, Marty, and there is no egos involved in this. What we're trying to do is deliver to our athletes, and not just ours, but yours. We're trying to grow this sport to give everybody the same opportunities that some of our kids have had, frankly. And the only way we're going to do that is to constantly engage and think of new ways to deliver our sport to you guys. And so we're looking for engagement with everybody. And that's the big thing out here. We have a group of people that have been very fortunate in what the sport has brought to us. And it's time for us to give back and grow it from the ground up. And we really want to hear from everybody. So the one thing I want to get out of this meeting is reach out, go through the website, reach out. Shannon will get the messages to all of us and we'll respond back to you. But I want to bring in Tony real quick to touch on finishing this off, getting the PCFL in line, and any other thing you might want to add, Tony.
Thanks, Mike. Well, thanks for those of you that are on the call. Like I said, it's Sunday night, so most of us are drinking either sparkling water, or coffee or something, kind of a little change for a Sunday night. But appreciate your time. A couple of things I want to cover is hopefully you're hearing that this is a story and it's information and you're not being sold. It's the first thing that I usually talk about when I speak about one of our firecracker groups. You're expecting me to sell you. Rico's all about the money. Those common perceptions that I think that are very understandable. If I'm you, even though I don't know you, I don't trust us. If you do trust us, there's two reasons why you trust us. You know us, or you just got here. But there's very little trust inside our softball industry, and we understand that. So if I'm you, well, what is this? I'd be pessimistic, skeptical, but you are on this call, so you are curious. And maybe you're curious and you're interested, but it's really not about selling you, it's about sharing information. So hopefully, whether it's one of you or five of you still on the call, if you do smell like we are out for ourselves and we are a power hungry group out for our own benefit and own dollar, make sure you post it everywhere you can that we're a bunch of crooks and we just want to take advantage of you. But if you really smell what's going on, tell one or two or three people the truth. I think that's important because this is about value. It's about value to you as a coach. You're doing something that you love and you're just coming short of killing yourselves trying to create value to keep your teams, to keep your players, right? To position your teams in the right spot. This value is to you and this value is to your players because how beautiful and competitive is our sport? Look what's happening on television right now. Look at all the college venues. Look at the great ESPN coverage. I mean, everything that's out there, our sport it's a fantastic thing to be a part of. And here you are, the volunteer person stepping forward, trying to do the best for your kids, trying to do the best for your daughters, and you're trying to gain an edge. And so what we have to offer you is experience. If you look at the people on this call and you don't know how much experience we have, but starting with the gray haired gentleman and Don Menard's level of experience, and he's our patriarch and what he provides, our experience that we want to share with you, or even inside our own member leagues, because even inside the alliance, there's still not perfect trust. People still think that California wants to be their own thing, or we're all about us, or we want to do. You guys need to understand, like, I hope you've done your homework on the history of softball, because it's really important that you understand the history. And if you ever want a history lesson, come by, give me a call, look me up online, or come by STC or APC, and we'll tell you about the history of the last 20 years of softball and kind of the part that we took in it. And even that, we're not here to talk about that right now, but I hope you've done your homework on the history versus what some of you have been listening. Some of the misconceptions, right? Misconceptions, well, AGL, why AGL? That thing keeps breaking. And every time we try to use it, and I can't get anything working. Well, here is Andrew with us 2 years later. So either we're in some kind of wanky partnership where we're just trying to, again, take advantage of you. But how long do you think that that's going to last? That's not going to last very long at all. Andrew is here on this call. AGL continues to work like everybody else, continue to problem solve and to continue to work. And that's what makes us feel good. Scott Smith from the Bombers talks about us building helicopters in flight, right? This thing is moving so fast and we really try hard to slow it down. But AGL is an example of something that's not perfected, but something that has a collaborative effort. That is why we're all doing this. None of us are perfect. This is not a perfect model yet by any means. But what I can tell you is that you have a group of people that, as Mike said, we don't have egos to try to outdo each other. See, we all compete on the field still. So we get to show what big badasses we are on the field still. But off the field, we are working together. Another misconception, we're here to put others out of business, right? This is an industry. We're very proud of our industry. We love fast pitch. So what kind of people would we be if we badmouth other people in the industry and we get mad at you for going and participating in other parts of the industry? We are all fast pitch. So we are here to make sure that people understand that our industry needs something that's sound for all of you. Do you ever feel like you're in the middle of like one of those WWE stories, you know, where there's people telling you this and there's a heel and there's a good person and there's a bad person? You know, again, it's a storyline, right? And that's part of it. But if you notice, we don't do that as the Alliance. We don't do that as the PCFL. We just share information with you. If you go back and you look at the social media pages of all the people on this league, go look at the team social media pages, and you're not going to find anything on the accolades and the history of how these organizations have done. Why? Because we don't need to do that. And that's not what was important to us. And it doesn't mean it shouldn't be important to others, but we didn't have to do this. You've all heard about the Good Old Boys Club. Well, let's say this group of people on this call right now, we're the Good Old Boys Club. And we all sat at a table one day and we're all sit there. And I want you to understand something. Nobody ever mistreated us. So we didn't break off and go in another direction because of the way we were treated. We looked at what was happening with the industry and the industry needed to be better. So we're sitting at a table, everything was fine. We had our bursts, we had close championships near home, except for myself personally, someone kept coming up to our table and saying, hey, I just lost another player for this reason to a team that has something that I don't have. What do I do? Right? I just lost another player because of this or that. I just got told that if I do this and I do that, it's going to be held against me. And so us at the table, we didn't have to do this. We don't need to do anything for us. We're doing it for you. Because can you, the people on this call, step inside the industry and make things better for those people that are less fortunate? Do you have the ability and leverage to do that? We do. And so we could have, after a lot of us have 30 years coaching, and Don, I think, has 75 years coaching, right? We don't need to do this, but we chose to do this for you because we want you to have a fair advantage. So how about I finish with this? We want to give you support. We want to provide competition. We want to provide events. How about this? Do you want to make your organizational stronger? Would you like to make your brand stronger? Would you like to sell more merchandise? Would you like to make a living inside softball? Would you like to create employees? Would you like to do what you've seen us to do? Look at Sean Brashear as our vice president. He has built his brand. His brand is stronger than my personal brand inside of my own organization because it's important to allow him to grow, just like we want you to grow inside softball. We are not here to take your players. The statistical component of the Alliance is so that your players know that they can be seen next to any of our players. So you don't need to become a firecracker or a bat buster, and your players don't need to come to our teams because you can put them in a place where they are seen and you can say that. And you could even make a call to us, to that family that is thinking about leaving your team and saying, hey, Tony, hey, Mike, can you explain to this family that they don't need to leave our team to go do someone else that's promising them something? That's what the effort of the Alliance is about. It's about giving you an equal opportunity to manage your teams and to stay above water because we know how hard it is. We've all been there. We've all lost. We've all been through the hard stuff. So that's the Alliance. Now, I don't write anything down, speaking from my heart, take a whiff of it. Hopefully you smell what's genuine. Hopefully you could see what these people on this call are about, but it's not about selling you. The business part of this is where I'm least comfortable. And a lot of the marketing, that's not where we established our names. It's through competition. But I would tell you, I am damn proud after 30 years to work with these people on this call, to problem solve, to listen to what you guys are saying, and to make an effort to make this industry better. So the Alliance is just an option. People look at it like a restaurant. We opened one up. We're not telling you not to go anywhere else. If you're happy where you're going, thanks for listening tonight and stay where you're at. But keep an eye on us because you're here right now. So keep an eye on us because, like I said, do your history lesson. And I don't know what's around the next corner, but I can't wait to see what's around it. So thanks for your time tonight.
Well said. Done well.
Corporal, are you ready to
Go ahead,
follow that
Jamie.
up with national events?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. All right, Rico, Mike, everybody, great job. I'm Dave McCorkle. I'm actually from Texas, and I've been coaching for 20 years and been following along with all those guys out there, and they've always been what's best for their sport. You know, so things like that are one of the reasons why Jamie was able to get me out of my old career into Alliance and become the National Director of Operations and work together with these guys. They've made me a better coach throughout the years, and I'm excited to work with everybody. I'm going to talk to y'all tonight about the events of the year. Obviously, the qualifying event, which is what you have to qualify for throughout somewhere in the country, one of your leagues or one of the Alliance events, is the AFCS. This year, the locations for AFCS are the 10U, 12U are in Oklahoma City, playing there at the Hall of Fame Stadium and surrounding areas. 14U is out in Southern Cal out by y'all. And then the 16-18s is in Indianapolis at Grand Park. If you haven't been to Grand Park, it's got 24 turf fields plus another 12 fields in close vicinity that are also turf. So we're excited about starting the event out there this year. And every year it'll travel east. So next year, the 16-18s will be in SoCal. The 10s and 12s will be in Indianapolis, and the 14s will be in Oklahoma City. So we're excited about that rotation and all the facilities and the partners that we deal with. We are not a event company. We partner with the associations and the event companies to host and partner together to give the best experience that we possibly can give for the teams, kids, and parents. USA Softball always hosts the central part, which this year is a 10U, 12U. Triple Crown always hosts the West, which out there in California is the 14U. And then USSSA is our host partner for the 16-18s out in Indianapolis. So we're excited that the format last year was designed to be exactly like the College World Series. We had 64 teams that battled it out in the regionals to get to the super regionals. And then they battled the best 2 out of 3 series to get to the final round. after hearing and diving deep into the entire country of what's best, we have made a few adjustments. We'll still follow the exact same format, except the regional round will now be 96 teams. So 96 teams will qualify for the national championship. We found out last year that there's a lot more than 64 teams that have a genuine chance to go win a national championship. So we expanded, and we're still following the same format. The regional round now will be 16 brackets of 6, in which the top 2 of the bracket will move on to the Tier 1 championship, which is the top 32 teams. The 3rd and 4th of the regional round will move to the Tier 2 championship, which is the next round of 32 teams. And the Tier 3 championship will be the 5th and 6th place out of regional for the last 32. So after the regional round, everybody will enter the super regional round and play for a national championship in the 32 team bracket. So Joe Breer up in the Northwest said it best, that a lot of teams don't have a chance to travel as much. They're able to, go earn a berth, get there, and then see where they fall. Whether they fall in the Tier 1, the Tier 2, the Tier 3 there after the regional round. Now they kind of can start over and go see where they rank against the teams that they're playing with. The sample of the regional bracket is right there on the left. It's a 16 bracket. The winner of the winner's bracket will move on as the 1 seed. Every single place in these brackets will be seeded, just like the NCAA tournament. We have a seeding committee that takes the rankings and the resumes of teams, and they create a seeding. And there's not any coaches that are playing. It's a great staff of people that are doing it for the sport, and they put together a 1 through 96 seeding, and it all be based on seeding. So the top seed out of that will go to the Tier 1. The second seed will move to Tier 1 as well, and then 3rd and 4th to Tier 2, and 5th and 6th to Tier 3. The super regional round, instead of the best 2 out of 3 of 2 teams, will now be a 4-team bracket, and the winner take all, moving to the Elite 8. This is the rounds where you can start getting beat out of the tournament, because the only team out of that super regional round will be the winner. So you still have to go find a way to beat a team twice, most likely. You got to be the best out of those 4 to make it to the Elite 8. And the top 8 teams make the Elite 8. And those teams will play in a 8-team bracket, exactly like the College World Series. And all 3 Tier 3 will get the exact same treatment and be able to play in the exact same format and go play for a trophy for a Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. So the final 2 teams will meet on the last day to play a best 2 out of 3 series, just like the College World Series. And the format last year was, I would say, unmatched. Although we expanded 96, it's still the college. I've been coaching for 20 years, and I've not ever seen the level of recruiting and the excitement at a tournament that college coaches have. Is they're recruiting kids that are following the same format that they're going to be hoping to go play for a World Series ring whenever they get to the college softball. So we're excited about the format. We're continuing with the college format, and we're just expanding it to where more teams have a chance, which I think is right. And we're excited to see how it goes this year.
Hey, by the way, as I'm looking through this, a lot of PCFL representation here and as national champions last year. So you guys should be proud there. One of the things that we started this year, we saw that it was really important, as we talked about. There's only 96 available berths at each age division. Well, we have more than 96 berths available for all of our Alliance teams. So we thought it was really important to still provide all teams with an opportunity to play a national championship to the caliber that we expect. So we have partnered with the city of Chattanooga this year and launched our Open Nationals. It's not a qualifying event, but you do have to be a member of the Alliance. And it looks like we do have Madison Crownover on to join us and talk a little bit more about the Open National and the city of Chattanooga.
Perfect. Thank you, Jamie. We're really excited to be on tonight. So thanks for letting us have a few minutes. We are super excited to bring this tournament to Chattanooga. Like Jamie said, it's kind of an opportunity for some teams who just didn't quite make it. One of the best things is you don't have to qualify. So you can actually go ahead and register for this tournament today and not wait to see if you qualify for AFCS. If you do happen to qualify, we can help you transfer that over. But just to talk a little bit while we're excited for it to be in Chattanooga, I'm going to kick it to Tony here. He's our assistant tournament director and has actually hosted some national championships in Chattanooga before. So I'll kick it to him.
Thanks, everyone. We're super excited, like Madison said, to host this tournament and for it to be an open, non-qualifying event. I've coached a long time, and that's not what my experience is unique about. I've had a 34-year career with the Public Works Department in Chattanooga, who worked hand in hand with Parks and Rec Department. And these Parks and Recreation departments run multi-million-dollar complexes, and that doesn't happen without commitment from several mayoral administrations. And that commitment that they've made has proved that Chattanooga has long been and is currently still today one of the premier cities to host major softball events like this. So we're super excited again to have this. We've put a team together to ensure that Open Nationals will be both an event to remember and a city to remember.
And just to hit on a few things of the details, these are the complexes we will be using on the screen here. They're all within 20 minutes of each other and within 20 minutes of the Chattanooga airport, and there are direct flights into Chattanooga. We are also about 2 hours from Atlanta, Knoxville, and Nashville airports. I know that's important because you guys will be coming from a long way. But we would love to have all of you. I have put my contact information in the chat here. So if you guys want to save that, the tournament website's there, registration's also there. And just, we want to hit on, we have a lot of cool stuff for you guys to do here, especially as a year and kind of wrap to your season. So go ahead and check out that website. Also, we do have about a 60 plus team list right now, 12U and 18U list. We're hoping to get out sometime this week. So just keep an eye out for that and let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Madison. McCorkle, I'm going to give it back to you to talk about the Super Cup.
All right, yeah, the Super Cup was started this year. Right now, we're in the middle of stage 2. We're out west. They've already played their stage 2. But the Super Cup was designed to give a year-long, more competitive event that is spread across the country to where everybody's playing to get to the final 8 in Colorado. In order to play in the Alliance Super Cup, you must have qualified through the AFCS, and that'll be the same this year. As how you play in the AFCS is going to determine your invite. The top 16 teams get an automatic invite, and then the top 5 in each league get the invite. So the top 5 finishing teams in each league, they will get an invite, and if it overlaps, and obviously we extend it to the next team up in the rankings at the end of the year after the AFCS. The stage 1 is in 3 different locations. It was in West, in the Central, and the East. And it was played in 16 pools, and the top 4 teams from each pool. So basically 12 different teams from each location would qualify for stage 2 to play in the next stage. The stage 2 is played as a 4-team bracket, winner take all, double elimination. And, you know, I know that some of the guys here played in that event in January and brought a little bit different level of competition to the sport in January. And so I'm excited to see where that goes. The Central and the East stage 2 will be played in June. And then the top 8 teams will play in Colorado on the Tuesday, Wednesday leading up into the Colorado game. So it'll intertwine with the Colorado event where all the college coaches are in the entire country. And so it'll be an exciting event that the top 8 teams will play into the final 2. We'll play on Wednesday afternoon on a TV stream game. So we're excited for that level of competition. I know we already got, I think, 9 total teams from out west that are already qualified, and they're going to be ready to play there in June.
All right. And just to close this, or to begin to close this out, we understand there's a lot of information, a lot of things going on, and there's a lot more to come too. But basically that's what happens when you combine a lot of passionate people who are all working together for the same mission. So the things that we have that moving forward beyond what we do on a day-to-day basis with our leagues, our national championships, and our memberships, everything we do should be player centric. In everything that we do, we want to add value to the game and continue to grow the game. So here's just kind of a snapshot. We will be announcing later on, probably in a couple of weeks this month, our nonprofit, the Alliance of Fast Pitch Athletes. We refer to it as Alpha. It's a nonprofit that's been put together by a lot of former players with a passion for providing more access and resources for more girls and teams in the sport. we had our first international teams, an organization out of Canada, the White Rock Renegades, who have joined, and really excited to add the Canada Cup, which is historically one of the biggest events in softball, having international representation, national teams, and actually youth teams as well. We will be handing out Alliance Nationals berths at the Canada Cup. And Team Alliance is something that we put together last year. It was a lot of the former players of the coaches on this call, where we had an opportunity to go play Team USA before they left for the Olympics. We also played the USSSA Pride. So we are looking to expand that, and should have some announcements coming out where again, just to provide more athletes an opportunity, to give some of these girls an opportunity to continue to develop, to continue to get reps in the summer. So lots of more exciting things to come. I'm very appreciative just looking at the faces on this call, of what we get to do. And it's so much fun to get to work together every week. And you have some of the most competitive people on this call as well, who will battle it out on the field, but then, hey, we're going to meet every week and talk about what can we continue to do. And that's really what the Alliance is all about. We've opened our arms. We want to work with others. We've been upfront from the beginning and continue to do that every single day. So I'm excited for what's come with the Alliance. Before we officially close it, Mike, anything else that you guys would like to add?
No, just the biggest thing is this is an open door. We're the biggest thing that I've learned with this group is everybody's here to help. Everybody wants to listen and learn and pass on more information so we can help build our sport. So if you're interested, our contact information will go through our website. And we look forward to helping all of you. And that's all I can say at this point. There's a lot of information. If there's more questions that come up, please reach out through the website and we will get back to you, because we're looking to grow this and we want more partners, more helpers to provide more stuff for our athletes.
Well, Andrew, Madison, appreciate you guys being on Alliance team and PCFL group. I respect what you guys do every week. There's a reason why you guys are all successful, and appreciate everything. I know the work that goes into building this, and very appreciative of everybody that is involved. So thank you guys for joining us on a Sunday night. And if you have any questions, please feel free. We have contact info across the board, and we really do want you to reach out, and we are happy to answer any questions. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you.
Thanks, guys.